Have you ever wondered what kind of personality type you are? Are you a dominant alpha, a supportive beta, or maybe a lone wolf sigma? In today's video, we're breaking down the 6 male personality types that have taken the internet by storm, thanks to a viral X thread by Silent Strength. We'll explore what each type means, their strengths and challenges, and how they're represented by iconic characters like Captain America, Harry Potter, and John Wick. Plus, we'll take a critical look at whether these archetypes are legit or just online hype. Stick around to find out which type you might be. First, let's set the stage. The concept of male personality types often uses Greek letters, like alpha, beta, and sigma, to categorize men based on their social behavior, leadership tendencies, and interpersonal dynamics. The X thread we're diving into lists 6 main types: alpha, beta, delta, gamma, omega, and sigma. These types are often placed in a social hierarchy, with alphas at the top and omegas at the bottom. But as we'll see, each type has its own unique strengths. Let's break them down one by one. Starting with the alpha male. Alphas are the classic leaders, assertive, dominant, and charismatic. They're the ones who take charge in social settings and often have high social status. Think of a CEO who commands a room without breaking a sweat. The X thread highlights characters like King Leonidas, Captain America, and Thomas Shelby as alphas. These guys are brave, high-achieving, and inspire others with their courage. But according to WikiHow, alphas can also struggle with their egos, sometimes taking excessive risks that lead to their downfall. So while they're often idolized, they're not perfect. Next up, beta males. Betas are less dominant and more cooperative. They're the supportive colleagues who thrive in secondary roles and prioritize relationships. The X thread points to characters like Ron Weasley, Samwise Gamgee, and Bruce Banner as betas. These guys are loyal, communicative, and often make great partners. WikiHow even notes that betas are associated with happy long-term marriages. They excel in careers like teaching or social work, where their nurturing nature shines. If you're someone who values teamwork over leadership, you might be a beta. Moving on to delta males. Deltas are the average Joes of the personality types. They're neither dominant nor submissive and often go unnoticed in social settings. The X thread describes them as reliable and adaptable, but not natural leaders. Characters like Harry Potter, Marty McFly, and Frodo Baggins fit this mold. They take on leadership roles reluctantly when needed, but prefer to blend into the background. According to Dad University, deltas bring stability to relationships and are great at following through on tasks, making them the backbone of any group. Now, let's talk about gamma males. Gammas are the rebels of the group. They challenge social norms and think independently, which can make them outsiders. The X thread calls out Tony Stark, Jack Sparrow, and Han Solo as gammas. These characters are intelligent, a bit rebellious, and highly independent. Medium.com describes gammas as adventurous and empathetic, but notes they can lack focus and be clingy in relationships. Dad University adds that gammas often take a creative, non-conventional approach to life, which can make them inspiring but also hard to pin down. Next, we have omega males. Omegas are often at the bottom of the social hierarchy and can struggle with social skills. They're introverted and prefer solitude, focusing on their passions rather than popularity. The X thread lists Peter Parker, Newt Scamander, and Walter Mitty as omegas. These characters might seem shy, but they're capable of extraordinary things when they channel their energy into their interests. WikiHow points out that well-adjusted omegas can lead fulfilling lives and succeed in their careers, proving that social status isn't everything. Finally, sigma males. Sigmas reject traditional social hierarchies and value their independence. They're charismatic like alphas but operate outside conventional norms. Think of them as lone wolves. The X thread highlights Bruce Wayne, James Bond, and John Wick as sigmas. These characters are self-reliant, confident, and don't seek validation from others. Medium.com describes sigmas as likable yet cunning, gaining strength from their independence. If you're someone who marches to the beat of your own drum, you might be a sigma. So, where do these types fit in the social hierarchy? According to the X thread, Alphas and sigmas are at the top. Alphas as leaders within the system, and sigmas as independent players outside it. Betas and gammas fall in the middle, with betas supporting the group and gammas challenging it. Deltas are the average majority, and omegas sit at the bottom, often overlooked but quietly impactful. The thread even provides percentages: 24% alphas, 6% sigmas, 26% betas, 34% gammas, 10% omegas, and the rest as deltas. But let's take a closer look at whether this hierarchy holds up. Now here's the million-dollar question. Are these personality types actually real? The concept of alpha, beta, and other Greek letter archetypes has exploded online, especially in self-improvement and men's communities. But as Medium.com points out, some see it as nonsense, a oversimplified way to label complex human behavior. WikiHow warns against idolizing or devaluing certain types, noting that some online spaces use these labels to push toxic, misogynistic views. On the flip side, Dad University argues that these archetypes can help us understand our strengths and challenges as long as we don't take them too literally. So, while these types can be a fun framework, they're not a one-size-fits-all truth. So, which type are you? Are you a take-charge alpha, a supportive beta, a reliable delta, a rebellious gamma, an introverted omega, or a lone wolf sigma? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Personally, I think these archetypes are a great starting point for self-reflection, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. We're all a mix of traits, and that's what makes us unique. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more personality content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.